Thank you for volunteering in the library. This year I'm going to have two levels of helpers. Most will be level 2. The duties will be number 1, help check out books, 2, scan returned books, 3, help label books for genres, and 4, any miscellaneous projects. Level 1 would add returning books to shelves, and this requires additional training and a short quiz because it's really complicated. I will also need help during homeroom for students with homeroom and ELA or math teacher approval to make sure that you're making your iReady progress. Procedures for volunteering in the library. Number 1, get to the library as soon as possible. So within the first 5 minutes of lunch, you can skip the line and go and sign in behind the desk. There's a clipboard for CJSF sign-ins. Library rules to be enforced. Please help me monitor the students. Number 1 is no eating and drinking inside the buildings. Of course, as library service volunteer, you are professional. You can eat your lunch while you work, but please be neat, professional, and patrons come first. Another rule is that there are no cell phones allowed. That's a school rule. For the patrons, they are asked not to sit in the back of the library where they can't be seen, like behind the shelves. Everyone should keep our library neat and clean, so all trash should be thrown away. Students should be putting the books away, games and materials back neatly. For you, please be sure to leave our workspace the same or neater than when you started. One important skill to know is how to check out books to patrons. So remember, when a patron comes to the desk, remember to smile, say hello, and use your best manners. A sample script could be, "Hi, what's your last name?" Or you can ask for their ID. In the system, you have to type their last name and then a comma and then their first name. So you can ask for their last name. If you can't figure it out, you can ask them to spell it or to write it down if you really can't find it. So this is the checkout screen if it's logged out. If you need to log in, you just log in and my information should be saved. You use the faculty staff. And now you're back. You need the one that has circulation. So you choose the circulation tab. And to check out books, you're going to make sure it's on checkout. Find patron. You have to do that every time. So you would put in their last name first. You could change it to first name, but we usually do last name. It defaults. And find their name. Click on it. Scan the book. And then it will come up here. And then you need to stamp the book with the due date. Right now we have 2 date stamps. So when you stamp, stamp with the writing on the stamp facing you. And if there isn't space or if there's no place to stamp, we have stickers on the desk for you to put in for the date due. And a reminder, the label that you're scanning, it's not just the barcode on the book, but it's the Fleming Middle School one. Another thing that you'll be doing often is checking in returned books. So if you see books that are in the bin underneath the computer station where students turn in their books, you can scan them in. So to do this, you go to the check-in screen, and this is still you're on the circulation tab, but right now you're in checkout. You're going to go to check-in, and then you scan the books that are being returned. And after you scan it, the book should populate here and you'll hear a sound. You can ignore any of the overdue notices like this. And if it says used in library, that's okay too. It just means that it had already been checked in. After you scan it, you put it on the cart next to the workstation on the to be shelved. Another daily task that I ask is that you help maintain the shelves. So as students come into the library, sometimes they make a mess of things. So the mnemonic we use to remember is to make a fuss. Basically, front it, so bringing all the books to the front of the shelf. I don't know why, but people love to push them back. Make sure that upright, make sure all the books are up, so spine labels are at the bottom, nothing is upside down. S, spine facing out, so make sure that the titles are showing and not the pages. And S, sorted. All books are in alphabetical order by the author's last name. If anything's out of order, you can put the book back on the to be shelved cart, unless you're a level 1 volunteer and you know how to return it where it belongs. So here's an example of what it looks like. So before, I know it doesn't look that bad here, but you will see sometimes it'll be a mess. Like there's just a lot of space here, things get pushed in, and this shelf isn't that bad. But afterwards, if you pull them all out to the edge, it looks really nice. It makes it easier to find the books. I also may have special projects or other duties for you guys. For instance, right now I'm in the process of labeling these books by genre so that it's easier to decide which shelf they belong on. So the horror and mystery books will have black labels, the love and romance books will have red labels, and the science fiction will have green labels, the comedy will have yellow labels. You get it. It matches the signs like these. Even if you're a level 2 employee, it's important to know how the library is organized. So, quick overview, the fiction books are mostly housed on those short shelves. It starts with the letter A, the author's back there, and it ends with Z somewhere over here. The Spanish language books are over here, and there's other foreign languages by the window. As I mentioned earlier, I also have shelves in categories with popular genres. So by the clock, we have horror and mystery, love and romance, sci-fi, dystopian, humor, and fantasy. On the other side of the library, there's three shelves. One is with drama, gangs, violence, abuse, biographies, and my favorite picks. And then again, on the other side of the library, there's the sports section, and it's combining nonfiction and fiction books, but organized by sports. So there's a section for baseball, basketball, football, soccer, and skateboarding. By the windows, we have the graphic novels section. These books should have light blue spine labels on them, and they're sorted by the author's last name. I started running out of space on the shelves and I wanted to highlight some special collections. So we do have on top of the shelves, there are a collection of Greek mythology graphic novels, World War II graphic novels, and these science graphic novels. Comic books are housed on the lower shelves in the graphic novels area. Last year, we were happy to buy a lot of manga, so I made their own section. They're organized alphabetically by the series. So instead of the author, we went with series for the manga so that all the Assassination Classroom are in A's, Attack on Titan, etc. So the manga are by the titles. We also have children's picture books, and they're organized by authors' last names. Lastly, the nonfiction books, the informational books, they have numbers. It's the Dewey Decimal System and the author's first three letters of their last name. And it starts from 0 and it goes all the way up to the 900s, going along the outer edge of the library. The last way I would like you guys to be power users of the library and professionals is to understand the Destiny Discover website. So to find it, I will always have it bookmarked. It'll probably be open in a tab on one of the computers or all of the computers. But you can also just Google Fleming Middle School Library, and it should be the first result is my webpage. When you get to the web page, you can click here or on the picture to get to the catalog. This is the home page of the catalog. The best thing to do is if someone is looking for a book, you can type the book search at the top up here, and it will give you your results. If it says out, it means checked out. In means that we should have a copy in the library. If someone is looking for something on a specific topic, like for instance World War II, this is very handy. They can type it in and they can look at it. These are where knowing the call numbers is going to be important. So like for these, I would write them down. If you're going to go look for the book, it's hard to remember. So you're going to look for 940.54/8 NIC. And lastly, another great feature on this website is that I put together collections. It's kind of like what are on the shelves for the different categories. So for people to get ideas of what they might want to read, they can go and there are many different categories. If you click on it, it will open. It tells you how many items are in here. So you can see like there's 24 in the LGBTQ right now, 132, and if you click on it, all the titles will open. Thank you for making it to the end of the tutorial, and I look forward to working with you all year and finding different ways to celebrate your many achievements.